Another component of modeling fractions is when we have a fraction and we want to multiply that fraction by another fraction. So we're going to give it a context. We're going to say we're doing a half times 2/3. And I'm going to refer to this context often. I'm going to say I have 2/3 of an acre of property. 2/3 of an acre of property, and I'm going to plant cabbage on half of that land. So 2/3 of an acre of property, and I want to plant cabbage on half of that. So I'm going to draw an array. And I'm going to say we've got 2/3 of an acre. This would be a whole acre, but I'm going to break it into 3 equal parts like my denominator says, so I'll do that now, 3 equal parts. But I don't have 3/3 of an acre, I only have 2/3 of an acre. So I'm going to do what we call criss it. I'm going to criss 2 of the 3 parts. This is criss and that's cross. So we're going to criss 2 of the 3 parts. 1/3. And we're over into 2/3 territory now. And that's, again, how much land we have. But we're not going to plant cabbage and all of that. We're going to plant cabbage on 1/2 of it. So this way, I'm looking at the entire acre, and we're going to plant cabbage on half of that. So I'm going to have to break it this way into 2 equal parts. I'm going to do that now. I just made 2 equal parts. And I've already crissed, so I'm going to go the other direction. I call that a cross. I'm going to cross one of the 2 parts I just made. Here's one of the 2 parts. Here's one part, here's the second part. I'm crissing one of those 2 parts. Now, let's analyze what we've got here. We're really going to focus on the part that's crissed and crossed. Remember, the crissed part represents how much land we had. So we have everything you see, this is land we own, but there's no cabbage on it. This would be cabbage, but there's no land. So if we have 2/3 of an acre of land, and we put cabbage on half of it, we want to look for where we have land, but there's also cabbage, or how many of these areas are not just criss, not just crossed, or crisscrossed. This has a criss and a cross, a criss and a cross. This right here is just criss, just crossed, just crossed. So we're interested in the land that has cabbage. That would be the parts that are crisscross, and that would be 2 of the 6 parts. Now, the standard algorithm is fairly obvious here. It's the numerator times this numerator is 2. The denominator times this denominator is 6. And we could always simplify that. Your students should, we've already done this, where the greatest factor of 2 and 6 would be 2. And 2 divided by 2 would be 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we could say that of the property we own, 1/3 of it, or 2/6, are equivalent values, is planted with cabbage.